Welcome back to the garden. So today, all about my winter prep for my Brugmansias. So I won't bore you. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So for those who have seen my previous videos, not really done too much of a winter care plan, and it is really quite simple. So these Brugmansias will not take a frost. So we are heading into like the 1st of October now, and I'm going to leave them out until we literally have a frost, so we have frost touching the leaves. When that is, we don't know just yet, so just keep an eye on your forecast. You can check the last frost date from last year to give you a rough idea. I think we were sort of November, so I'm hoping we've got another month, but I am going to take one of my plants and show you what I do with it and then how I overwinter it, just to give you guys an idea of what you can do just to make things a little bit easier. So I do have several Brugmansias around the garden. I have a couple in pots and then the rest are actually planted, and they've done really well. Like you can see, this one just here adds a nice little bit of texture to a border. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to dig up one that I've planted just to show you guys that it's really simple to plant them in the garden and dig them up each year. Now the reason why I'm leaving them in for another month is because you should get another flurry of flowers. So I'll just show you, just here, they're quite small at the minute, but these will soon come on. So I've got this one just here, and I believe this is my pink one. I've got a white one just over here, and you can see that's just started to curl out the actual flower themselves. And then I've got several more knocking around. So like I say, lots more life. I'm only digging them up right now just to show you what I do. So it really doesn't matter what size pot it goes in. You're not actually planting it. All you're doing is giving it a home for the winter. What I will do, I'll go ahead and I'll cover the roots up with a little bit of soil. Doesn't have to be compost or feed or anything like that, because you're just storing it for the winter. It doesn't have to have any energy now. So I'm going to go ahead, cover it with a little bit of garden soil, and then we're going to take some of these leaves off, and I'll go ahead and show you that. So these plants are absolutely amazing in pots. You don't have to plant them, but that's just something I've done this year. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take off every single leaf. As you can see, they've just started to turn yellow. I've got a couple which are actually done for the year now. I can't get them back green because they've flowered and flowered and flowered. So I'm going to go ahead, take all the leaves off, and I'll do like a tiny sort of tip prune on top. Now it's worth noting that if you haven't got a lot of space, then you can cut these right off to the base and they'll shoot again from the base. But the key is, okay, so don't dry them out, so they're not like a corm where you have to completely dry them. If you dry them, you'll dry the root system and you won't see them again next year. The key is just keeping them ticking over the tiny bit of water through the winter. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, take all the leaves off, and I'll show you what it looks like after.
Now I'm going to leave these little side shoots on, which I'll show you after. So I'm just going to take the big leaves off to begin with, leave all the little ones on, like I said, so we've got a little bit of time in the season.
So I mentioned before about doing like a tip prune, and it's literally exactly what it says on the tin. I'm just going to take the very tops off just to generate them crowning a bit better for next year. And that's that. Now it really is that simple to overwinter these. Like I said, if you don't have a lot of room, you can actually cut it right down to the base and it will come again. The reason why I take all the leaves off is you can keep them on by all means, but you'll find wherever you're storing them, the leaves might end up on other plants and start rotting away and things like that. So it's just a good plant hygiene tip for the for the autumn and come winter, because it's like an extra job you don't want. You don't want to be clearing around the Brugmansia leaves in amongst other things. So this is actually going to go in my polytunnel. My polytunnel will be a frost-free polytunnel, so I'm going to wrap it with a little bit of fleece. If they're small, they can go on the windowsill, so anywhere frost-free, greenhouse, if it's slightly insulated polytunnels, conservatories. This spent first sort of year of its life in the conservatory from a cutting. Now I did go ahead and take some cuttings about 3 weeks ago, so I'm going to show you them really quickly and show you how those have rooted. And yeah, so let me go ahead, let me grab them for you, and then we'll go through those. So previously, actually went ahead, took some cuttings off my big pink Brugmansia, which is looking a little bit sorry for itself now, but it's bouncing back really well. So what I did is, as you can see, the size of them about 6 inches, and then I dropped them straight into water. Now, the mistake I made is I didn't change the water, and I should have done. I've actually been away twice in September, and that's kind of hasn't helped the process, but clean water is certainly better. Not only that, it's more hygienic, right? Anyway, let me show you these. So that was taken about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, and look, that's absolutely fantastic. It's even thrown out a little shoot there, and that's where I'll cut this off to. And then these are just ready to pot up, so straight into a multi-purpose compost. And that's my brand new plant for next year. And like I said on here, actually, and I genuinely mean this, if anybody wants any of these cuttings, then please drop me a message down below, and we'll sort that out. I'm over on Instagram as well, so Peaches Plants, so go check us out. I'll put the link down below. But yeah, if you want one, then I'll make sure you guys get one. So that is one of them. They've all done okay. This is probably the best one, to be honest. You can leave them in water for longer, obviously, and this will go into like a multi-purpose compost. So that's that one. I'm just going to go through them when I'm with you here. Look at that, absolutely fantastic cutting. So I've got 1, 2. That's not so good, but it'll come on. I don't know if you can just make that out on the camera there, just that little shoot just around there. So that's where I'll make that cut, and that's that. So that looks really good. I'm not going to bore you with them all, but you get the idea. Okay, so straight in water. Try and change the water perhaps once a week. I didn't change it at all, and I should have done so. All I'm going to do there, take it off to the growth, and that's going to be a really good plant, so I'm really happy with those. I'll link the video down below as to when I took these cuttings if anyone's interested, or I've got some Brugmansia care videos. I've been keeping Brugmansias for 20 years now, and I've slowly grown the collection, but I give more away than I keep. And there we have it. I hope you enjoyed this winter care video for Brugmansias. They are a lot easier than you think. Now, for the price of them, I think they were around £6 a plant, and they're classed as an annual. So if you wanted the expense every year and just grow them and let the frost take them out, then I don't blame you if you haven't got the space for them, because they will put on the show throughout the season. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, as it really does help the channel out. And don't forget to subscribe, because I keep banging on about my subscribers, but yes, we'll get the views but not the subscribers. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you in the garden.